The vast blackness of space was calm and silent. Stars shone brightly far away, as if watching a quiet night on a lonely stage. But that calm would soon break. Far beyond Earth, something large and unknown was coming fast. Deep inside the control room of Earth Space Command, the atmosphere was tense. Officers stared at their screens, where a new blip had just appeared. The radar had detected hundreds of large ships moving in formation, heading directly toward the solar system. The officers exchanged worried looks. This was not a normal sight. "Sir, we have a large unidentified fleet approaching fast," said the radar operator, his voice shaking slightly. "They are not using any known signals or communication." General Harris stood tall, his face serious but calm. "Prepare all defense systems. Notify the president immediately. This could be an invasion." Outside the command center, news started spreading fast. Governments worldwide alerted their space forces. People watched the skies nervously, wondering who was coming. The alien fleet was enormous. Hundreds of ships, each bigger than the largest human vessels, moved with perfect formation. Their shapes were strange and sharp, unlike anything humans had built. They glowed faintly with blue and green lights, showing powerful energy flowing through them. On the lead ship, the alien commander stood on the bridge, watching Earth on a large holographic screen. His eyes were cold and calculating. "The Earthlings have no real space weapons," he said to his officers. "This will be an easy victory. We will take their planet quickly." The aliens had traveled far across the stars to reach Earth. There, technology was advanced, and they believed they were the strongest race in the galaxy. They thought of humans as weak and primitive, but the humans had a secret. Hidden deep inside Earth's orbit was a huge warship. It was old, but built with a power no one expected. The ship was called the Titan. Few on Earth knew about it, and even fewer aliens had heard its name. As the alien fleet entered the solar system, Earth's satellites scanned them closely. The Titan suddenly powered on its engines, sending a deep hum through space. Its metal body gleamed under the sun. The alien ships detected it and stopped in shock. The commander narrowed his eyes. "What is this vessel? It is unlike anything we have seen." Inside the Titan, Captain Lee prepared his crew. "Get ready. They don't know what we have." Suddenly, the alien fleet moved forward again. Ignoring the Titan, they aimed their weapons at Earth's defense stations. But before their weapons fired, the Titan raised its shields, creating a bright, glowing barrier. "Shields up. All systems ready," Captain Lee ordered. The aliens fired powerful beams of energy, but the Titan's shields held strong. The beams bounced off like drops of rain on a rock. The humans watched silently, their hearts pounding. For years, they had feared this day. Now it was here. The alien commander was confused. Why does this old ship have such power? On Earth, scientists watched the battle unfold. Dr. Harris, a lead engineer, smiled quietly. They have no idea what they are facing. Suddenly, the Titan's weapons activated. Unlike the alien lasers, these weapons were strange. They sent pulses of energy that could tear through ships easily. The first pulse hit an alien destroyer. It exploded into pieces, drifting silently in space. Alien ship started to panic. "This warship... it is deadly." Captain Lee's voice was calm but firm. "We protect Earth, no matter what." The alien commander called for retreat. "Fall back, we must rethink." But the humans had already begun their counterattack. The war for Earth had begun, and neither side would give up. The silence of space was broken by the distant sounds of battle. Explosions flashed across the stars. The alien fleet, once confident and sure, now moved with hesitation. Their ships, massive and deadly, faced something they had never seen before. The human warship, called the Titan, was alive with power, On board the Titan, Captain Lee stood on the command bridge. His eyes were sharp and full of focus. Weapons online, shields stable. "Prepare to engage," he said firmly. His voice echoed. Through the ship, the crew moved quickly. Machines hummed. Lights flickered. The ship's strange engines glowed deep blue. The Titan was not just a ship. It was a weapon made of old human science and new unknown powers. It could change the course of the war. Outside the ship, the alien fleet watched closely. They expected a simple fight. They expected the humans to run or surrender. But the Titan was different. It was not just strong. It was fast, smart, and deadly. Suddenly, the Titan's weapons activated. Unlike the alien energy beams, the Titan fired bright pulses of light that moved fast and struck true. The first pulse hit an alien cruiser. The ship shook violently. Its shields failed, and it exploded in a giant fireball. Target destroyed. Captain Lee said calmly. The aliens were shocked. "What kind of weapons are these?" One officer asked in disbelief. "Our lasers could not do this." On the bridge of the alien flagship, Commander Vrek narrowed his eyes. "They use something we do not understand," he said. "Focus all. Fire on the warship." Alien ships opened fire with all their might. Huge beams and missiles flew toward the Titan, but the human ship's shields held strong. The pulses from the Titan seemed to pass through or block most attacks. Inside the Titan, the crew worked in perfect harmony. Every system was watched and controlled. The ship's strange technology seemed to learn and adapt. It changed its defense. When it sensed new dangers, shields holding at 80%, reported Lieutenant Kim, the weapons officer. Captain Lee nodded. "Keep pressure on. Find their weak points." The Titan moved smoothly through the swarm of alien ships. It fired again and again, breaking through the enemy's defenses. Alien ships began to explode one by one. The aliens tried to change their tactics. Some ships flew faster, some used stealth devices. Others attacked from different angles. But the Titan always adjusted. It was as if the ship could think for itself. Commander Vrek grew angry. "Send boarding parties. Capture the warship." But sending soldiers in small crafts was dangerous. The Titan's defenses stopped every attempt. The boarding ships were destroyed or forced to retreat. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the people watched the battle live. Citizens were filled with hope and fear. They had heard stories about the Titan but never seen it in action. "Is that ship really ours?" A young girl asked her father. "Yes," he said. "It's the strongest human warship ever built." On the Titan, Captain Lee looked at a map showing the battle. "We must protect Earth at all costs," he said quietly. Suddenly, sensors detected a strange signal. It was a type of energy wave coming from the alien fleet. The signal moved quickly toward the Titan. Lieutenant Kim analyzed it. "Captain, this is a new type of weapon. It may disable our systems." The crew tensed. The ship shook slightly as the energy wave passed over it. Some systems flickered, but did not fail. "We can handle this," Lee said. "Keep fighting." The alien fleet was growing desperate. Their losses were heavy, and their confidence shaken. The Titan was more than a ship. It was a symbol of human strength and hope. For hours, the battle raged on. Ships exploded, debris floated in space. The Titan remained in the center, fighting fiercely. Commander Vrek realized his fleet was losing. "Retreat," he ordered. "This warship is not like any enemy we faced." The aliens pulled back, leaving the battlefield. The Titan's crew cheered quietly. They had won this fight but knew the war was far from over. As the Titan moved back toward Earth, Captain Lee spoke to his crew. "This is only the beginning. We will protect our home no matter what comes." The crew nodded. They were ready for the challenges ahead. Far away, the alien commanders met again. They studied the Titan carefully. They did not understand its full power but knew they must be cautious. "The humans have awakened something dangerous," one said. "We must prepare." The war for Earth had begun, and the human warship was the galaxy's new terror. The battle had paused, but the war was far from over. The alien fleet retreated beyond the edge of the solar system, leaving a trail of damaged ships and burning debris behind. They were shaken and confused. Something about the human warship. The Titan had changed everything. It was not just a ship. It was a mystery. On the alien flagship, Commander Vrek sat in his dark chamber. The room was filled with cold blue light, and holograms of the battlefield floated around him. His eyes were tired but sharp. "We underestimated the humans," he said quietly. "Their ship is unlike anything we have faced before." An alien scientist stepped forward. "Commander, we must learn more about that warship. If we can understand its technology, we might find a way to defeat it." Vrek nodded slowly. "Agreed. Prepare a reconnaissance team. They will board the next damaged ship we capture and investigate." Meanwhile, back on Earth, the Titan rested in orbit, repairing minor damages from the battle. The crew was busy, but Captain Lee knew the aliens would try to learn their secrets. The warship was strong, but it carried many mysteries even for humans. In a secret lab below the ship's main deck, Dr. Harris worked quietly. He was the lead engineer who helped build the Titan. His eyes sparkled with pride and worry. "The Titan is no ordinary ship," he explained to a small group of officers. "It is a mix of old human technology and new discoveries. It uses energy sources we barely understand ourselves." The crew looked at the strange core at the ship's heart. It glowed softly with blue and green light. The core was alive in a way, responding to the crew's commands like a living being. "It is a hybrid of machine and biology," Dr. Harris continued. "This makes the ship very hard to destroy. It can repair itself, adapt, and even think in battle." "Captain." Lee listened carefully. "That explains why it changed tactics so fast." "Yes," Harris said. "But we must protect the core at all costs. If the aliens get their hands on it, they could learn too much." Back in space, the alien reconnaissance team prepared for their mission. They selected a damaged but still functional ship near the battlefield. Small boarding crafts moved quickly and silently toward the ship. Inside the damaged alien ship, the humans had left traps and false signals to confuse any boarding party. When the alien team entered, sensors on the Titan detected their presence. "Captain Lee, we have alien boarding parties on one of the damaged ships," Lieutenant Kim reported. "Prepare defenses." "We cannot let them get too close," Lee ordered. The boarding aliens moved cautiously. They scanned the ship for weaknesses. Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed. Hidden turrets opened fire, forcing them to retreat. Commander Vrek was furious. "The humans are prepared. We need a new plan." The alien scientist suggested a bold move. "We send a spy. One who can board the Titan itself and discover its secrets." Vrek hesitated, but agreed. "Very well. Send your best." The spy was a skilled alien agent named Zarn. He was small, fast, and able to blend into different environments. His mission was clear: sneak onto the Titan, find the core, and return with information. Zarn's craft approached the Titan under cover of darkness. He used advanced stealth technology to avoid detection. Once near the ship, he found a small maintenance hatch and slipped inside. The inside of the Titan was quiet and cold. Zarn moved carefully through narrow corridors. The walls hummed with energy. Strange symbols and lights decorated the ship's inner chambers. Zarn reached the engineering section, where the core was housed. The core pulsed with light, almost alive. As he studied it, a strange feeling came over him. The ship seemed to notice him. Suddenly, the core sent out a pulse of energy. Zarn staggered but stayed focused. He quickly scanned the core with his devices, trying to copy data. Just then, security drones appeared. moving fast to surround him. Zarn realized he had been detected. He fought back fiercely, using his weapons and speed. But the drones kept coming. The ship's defense system was protecting its heart. Zarn knew he had to escape. He triggered a small explosive and fled through a side tunnel. Back on the alien flagship, Zarn returned, shaken but alive. He carried some data, but admitted failure to fully understand the Titan, Commander Vrek's side. The ship is protected by something beyond technology. We cannot break it easily. On Earth, Captain Lee was unaware of the spy's mission, but sensed the danger growing. We must stay ready, he told his crew. The aliens will not give up. Dr. Harris studied the data recovered from the battle. The Titan's core responds to human emotions, he explained. It is connected to the crew in a way that makes it stronger. The crew realized that the Titan was more than metal and wires. It was part of humanity's will to survive. Outside, the stars sparkled. Quietly, but the war was far from over. The secrets of the Titan had only just begun to unfold. The cold vastness of space held a new tension. After the fierce battle near Earth, the alien fleet had withdrawn. They returned to their distant star systems, shaken and full of questions. Yet, they had not forgotten the power of the human warship. The Titan. For the first time, fear entered their minds. On Earth, leaders and scientists gathered in a secure command center beneath the surface. Large holographic screens showed the solar system and the retreating alien ships. The room was filled with nervous energy and cautious hope. President Morgan stood before the council, her face serious but resolute. The aliens have attacked U.S., but their forces have pulled back. It is clear they underestimated us. We cannot wait for their next move. General Harris nodded. Their retreat may be a trick. We must be ready. Our defenses need to be stronger and our allies prepared. Dr. Harris, the lead engineer who had helped build the Titan, stepped forward. The warship showed them a power they never expected. But it is not just a weapon, it is a symbol. We must use that to send a message. President Morgan agreed. Prepare a message to the alien fleet. Let them know Earth will not be conquered easily. It must be clear and strong. Back on the Titan, Captain Lee stood on the bridge. His crew worked tirelessly to repair and upgrade the ship. They knew. The aliens were watching, waiting for their next chance to strike. A communication officer called out, "Captain, we are ready to send the message." Lee nodded. "Send it. Let them hear our voice." The message was simple but terrifying in its meaning. To the commanders of the alien fleet, Earth is protected by strength you cannot imagine. Retreat now or face total destruction. This is your only warning. The message was sent through deep space, reaching the alien fleet within hours. On the alien flagship, Commander Vrek received the transmission. He read the words carefully, then looked at his officers. "They are not afraid," he said quietly. "This message is more than a warning, it is a promise." One officer replied, "We can still fight. Our technology is superior." Vrek shook his head. "Yes, but their warship is unlike anything we have faced. We must rethink our strategy. A direct attack will only cost us more ships." The alien leaders held an emergency meeting. They debated fiercely about their next steps. Some wanted peace, others wanted to continue the war. Meanwhile on Earth, people watched the stars nervously. News reports filled the airwaves, telling of the strange and powerful human warship. The Titan became a symbol of hope in the quiet halls of the Titan. Captain Lee prepared his crew. "We fight not just with weapons, but with our will and our courage. The aliens will test us again. We must be ready." Suddenly, the ship's sensors detected a new signal. It was faint but clear. A message from deep space, not from the aliens, but from an unknown source. Lieutenant Kim analyzed it quickly. "Captain, this signal is not from any known civilization. It is ancient and powerful. Captain Lee frowned. Could this be a warning or a new threat? Dr. Harris joined the bridge. There are rumors of ancient forces in this part of the galaxy. Be cautious. Our fight with the aliens may only be the beginning. As the days passed, Earth's defenses grew stronger. Satellites and battle stations were prepared. The Titan led patrols around the solar system, always ready. The alien fleet, meanwhile, watched and waited. Their fear of the human warship had turned into respect and fear. Back on the Titan, the crew trained harder. Pilots flew simulations, engineers tested weapons, and soldiers prepared for battle. One night, Captain Lee looked at the stars, thinking of the future. "We are not alone in this universe," he whispered. "And we will fight to protect our home." The message had been sent. The war was no longer just about survival. It was about standing tall against a universe that did not expect humans to fight back. The silent darkness of space was about to erupt into chaos. The alien fleet, having regrouped, was returning. This time, they came with more ships, more weapons, and greater determination. They wanted to take Earth, no matter the cost. In the vast control room of Earth Space Command, tension was high. Screens showed the incoming enemy fleet growing larger every minute. Humans around the world watched live feeds, their hearts pounding with fear and hope. Captain Lee stood on the bridge of the Titan. His face was calm but determined. "This is it," he said. "We protect our home." The Titan's engines glowed brightly as it moved to meet the alien fleet. The warship's strange and powerful weapons were ready. The crew was prepared for the biggest fight of their lives. Outside, the alien ships formed tight battle formations. Commander Vrek led the fleet with cold precision. "Destroy the human warship first," he ordered. "Without it, Earth is weak." As the two forces approached, space exploded into a storm of light and sound. Energy beams, missiles, and strange weapons filled the void. The Titan moved like a living creature. It dodged enemy fire with smooth and quick moves. Its weapons fired pulses of energy that cut through alien shields. One alien cruiser was hit and shattered into pieces. Debris floated silently as the ship exploded. "Good hit," Captain Lee said, watching the battlefield. The alien ships fought back fiercely. They fired everything they had. Their weapons were powerful, but the Titan's shields absorbed most damage. Inside the Titan, the crew worked in perfect harmony. Pilots flew support ships, soldiers manned turrets, and engineers kept systems running. The battle grew intense. Alien fighters swarmed around the Titan, trying to overwhelm it with numbers. But the Titan adapted. Its systems learned enemy patterns and countered quickly. "Target their command ship," Lee ordered. "If we break their leadership, we can win this." Human fighters attacked the alien flagship. The ship's shields weakened under constant fire. The alien commander barked orders, but his control was slipping. Suddenly, an alien stealth ship appeared near the Titan's engines. It fired a missile that struck the warship side. The Titan shook violently. Alarms blared. Damage reports flashed on every screen. "Damage to engine systems," Lieutenant Kim reported. "Shields down to 50%. Captain Lee gritted his teeth. "Divert power to shields. Don't let them break through." The crew worked fast to repair the damage. Support fighters chased the stealth ship away. The battle raged on for hours. Ships exploded, lighting the darkness with fiery bursts. On Earth, people watched nervously. Many prayed for victory. The Titan fired its final weapon, a massive energy pulse that struck the alien flagship directly. The flagship trembled and exploded in a blinding flash. Without their leader, the alien fleet faltered. Ships turned to retreat. Commander Vrek glared at the destruction. "Retreat, we cannot win this day." The alien fleet disappeared into the darkness, leaving Earth's orbit behind. The Titan floated among the stars, battered but victorious. Captain Lee looked at his crew with pride. We stood strong. Earth is safe for now. The crew cheered quietly, knowing this victory was just the beginning. But deep in the shadows of space, new threats watched. The battle for Earth was over, but the war for the galaxy was far from finished. The battle was over. The alien fleet had retreated, leaving behind a field of burning wrecks and silence. Space was quiet once again, but the echoes of war remained. The humans had won a great victory, but the cost was clear. On the bridge of the Titan, Captain Lee stood alone, staring at the stars. The ship was damaged, but still strong. His crew worked hard to repair every system. They had faced the impossible and survived. Down on Earth, the people celebrated. For the first time in history, humans stood as equals in the vast galaxy. The Titan had shown that Earth was not weak. It was a beacon of hope and strength. Yet, not all were at ease. In secret, alien commanders gathered on a distant world. They spoke in hushed tones, planning their next move. The humans had awakened a force they did not understand, and it scared them. Back on the Titan, Captain Lee met with his officers. "This victory is only the start," he said. "We must prepare for what comes next." Dr. Harris, the lead engineer, brought new data from the ship's core. "The Titan's power is unlike anything in the galaxy," he explained. "But it also makes us a target." The crew realized their warship was more than a weapon. It was a symbol and a threat to powerful enemies. Meanwhile, deep in space, a mysterious signal was detected. It was not alien, not human. It came from a distant corner of the galaxy, old and powerful. Lieutenant Kim studied the signal. "Captain, this could be a warning or a call for help." Captain Lee nodded. "Whatever it is, we will face it, together." The crew prepared for a new journey, knowing the galaxy held more secrets and dangers than they had ever imagined. As Earth rebuilt and strengthened its defenses, humans looked to the stars with new hope and courage. The war had changed everything. Earth was no longer alone. The Titan was ready. The humans were ready. The future was uncertain. But one thing was clear. Humanity had awakened a power that would shape the galaxy forever.